Hey everyone, I wanted to come on here and give a huge thank you to Fred Steuben, Stuben, for completely transforming the sound quality and vibe and feel of this humble Twitty podcast. Thank you so much for your help. He is a sound engineer based in Los Angeles with over 20 years of experience in the television and film and music industry. So if you are in need of a sound engineer, please reach out to him. He is excellent. His contact information is in our show notes. I hope you guys enjoy this week's episode. It is our shortest ever. Hello, and welcome to That's What I'm Trying to Tell You, the podcast where women from different generations sit down to share their unique perspectives on life, current events, and everything in between. So join us as we navigate through topics with laughter, a little wisdom, and a whole lot of authenticity. Our favorite generation, Gen Z, has started this new trend called the Living Alone Diaries, and where they're disclosing, what their daily routines are, what they do alone, where they live, what the inside of their apartments look like, what the outside of their apartments look like, the routes they take to get to do their daily shopping or whatever. Kat, you were talking about, like, what is the relevance here? And I agree.
It's funny because just as you're saying that, I'm thinking again, what is the relevance here? My brain just came up with this thought. Excuse me if it's too harsh, but I'm like, the relevance is you have absolutely zero talent and you want to be an influencer.
Yeah.
Because,
Well,
I mean,
Right.
seriously, these videos, right? What do they show? Look at me in my bedroom. Look at me washing my dishes. Look at me walking to my car.
Mhm.
I'm going to Target. Like, excuse me, what the fuck?
Right.
mhm,
I do
mhm.
that every day. I don't need to
I don't
post about
tell
it.
myself I don't need to watch other people doing it.
Right.
But some people do, apparently,
Yeah.
because
Apparently they
they have
do,
followers.
Yeah.
They
which is
have
sad.
followers.
Yeah, it's like a weird voyeuristic. Like at first, I will admit, like there's a couple YouTubers I follow that transition from living in like a house to doing van life full time, and they would document their whole routine, and I found that interesting because I've entertained van lifing. I probably may or never do it, but it was interesting to see like how do you move out of a house? How do you transition to living in a van full time? I think that has a little more
Oh,
value,
yeah, absolutely,
than
right? Because that's unusual.
yeah.
And one that comes to mind in particular is Nomadic Introvert. And
Hmm.
I've watched her from episode 1. She's now at 200 and something. And again, let me say shout out to Nomi. I absolutely love you, but she does not disclose anything about where she is, her security measures,
Hmm.
none of that.
You don't even know her name. She won't even give her first name.
She has never given her name.
Yeah.
I absolutely love her.
Yeah. I know when this social media thing first started for me, like MySpace, that was the first thing I ever got. I didn't put on there like where I lived. I think it might have had my age, but it was mainly just for you to go on after school to be with your friends. Like you put whatever bands you were into or music artists, or you made your little background cool, like, oh, they're into that. Maybe your favorite book. Like this was how primitive social media was when I was coming up. Now it's like people want to put their blood type and what their stool pattern was for the morning and stuff. It's like, or like these people that post all their kids. I'm like,
I would
that's too
never want to
much.
put my kids on there. But
Mm.
like some of these people, right on that what is it, living alone thing, they actually post their security measures,
Mhm.
which is really bizarre because you're thinking, okay, they obviously have thought about security,
Right.
but yet they're going to post it online what they're doing to their doors or what kind of, they have a fake dog tape or whatever the heck it is. And then, as one other person who was kind of critical of these sort of posts was saying that they don't seem to realize that when you do these posts, people, we can see through your window, like we can see the neighborhood you're in.
Mhm.
Some of them leave some little clues as to the city. It's not that hard if you're a crazy stalker.
Criminal minds.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
it is not that hard to try to figure out where somebody lives. If you know the town, you're like, oh, they can see this from their window. I recognize that Home Depot.
Or
That
that
must
they're
be there.
leaving at 9:30 at night to
Right.
go
Or
to
they
Trader
they keep
Joe's.
showing their routine, like, oh, I always go to this gym. I'm sorry, all somebody has to do is stake out that darn gym if they want to follow you. But so I don't understand. On the one hand, they're saying, oh, look at these security measures I'm telling you I have. And then let me post everything about my life and leave all these little crumbs as to where I actually live.
Exactly.
They're like, I don't
When I'm
understand.
gone and when I'm
Yeah.
returning.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
what is your brain thinking? Is your brain thinking at all?
I was gonna say it's not because I just don't, and I know there's like apparently this is via the internet, but people are abandoning social media, I guess, in droves. How would we know? Because the internet, I always say the internet's not real anyway, right? It's somewhere we go that exists kind of, but it doesn't really. But I'm just over it. Like the content I watch now, when I do go on social media, which is like a couple times a week, it's mostly on YouTube, but I'm interested in like somebody that can teach me something that I'm interested in. Kat, I know you do crafts
Exactly.
and
Exactly. I mean,
sorry.
that's the power of social media, the good power of social media.
Mhm.
I mean, I think people should look at things like, what am I contributing to society?
Yeah.
And that just wipes out like 90% of the content on social media. Like it
It's
contributes
sad to say,
nothing.
but that is very true.
Yeah, right. It contributes
Mhm.
nothing, but you're trying to stroke your own ego
Mhm.
by having people like you, having yourself go viral. I mean, how many different shopping haul videos do we need to see? I mean, I don't know. The whole thing just kind of grosses me out. Sorry, just going on another tack here, but I was watching these videos of all these, you see these shopping hauls, and then you see these pictures of the coast of Africa where all of our textiles that have been just dumped in the trash because those Shein clothes only last for a couple of months.
You know,
And it's just pile of, I mean, I just can't with all of that's going into a whole different subject. I'll drop it at that. But I just sort of think like back to the power of social media. I do a lot of crafts.
Mhm.
One of the things I like to do is knit. And one of the great things about social media is if somebody gives me instructions in a sweater to do the Italian tubular bind off, and I'm thinking, well, what the heck is
Ooh,
that?
I'm intrigued.
Well, you know what? You just can go right on YouTube and there's like 10 different videos showing you how to do that.
Mm.
That's amazing. That's contributing something to society.
Mhm.
Seeing a living alone video of some skinny, beautiful 20-year-old contributes zero to society.
Mhm.
I find myself, there is a woman, I'm not quite sure, it's called something, Being Nikki or something, the woman that obsessively, in my opinion, cleans her
Oh,
house.
Operation Nikki. Yeah.
Operation Nikki, and no shade to Nikki. I respect her, but all I can think about, you're talking about consumerism. She has a place for everything, and everything is in its place, down to how she cleans her shower, she steams things, she cleans her hotel rooms or Airbnb B&Bs when she goes. Her kids are homeschooled. They have everything. I say you guys should look at this because it physically makes me feel ill in the pit of my stomach, and my mother used to say, because all I can think of is this is just excess, excess snacks, excess, her refrigerator is stocked and everything is labeled. She pours her juice into containers, and to me, again, it's just obsessive. That's just me. But I think about the waste. That's what I think about when I see it. Not to mention what I view as a compulsion. It's great to be clean and it's great to be organized, but there's so much waste.
Is this the woman, whose counter she has like these containers
Coffee bar
she
and
she has all these snacks lined up and
labeled.
everything.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. Too
Yes.
much waste. Like why can't you have
Almost too much to
one
watch.
family-sized bag of potato chips
That's not how she.
that you shake out into a bowl that can be washed and then your kids can eat that and be done? Why do they have to have individual little packets?
She's also got it in I guess they travel and they have a big commuter van in addition to their Suburban and whatever else they have. And the commuter van, she does a video where she cleans it, getting it ready for a trip, and there are all these little same compartments in this commuter van. and the kids have their pull down screens, and they've got their M&Ms. Everything is labeled Skittles, this, that, and another. And
It reminds me of the movie WALL-E, where all the Earth had died. That little animated movie that came out, and then all the fat humans were
Yes.
living in a space station in space with all their little comforts, and they couldn't even walk. Like,
And I see
You
the
know?
obsession. I mean,
I mean-
you watch it. You're talking about these videos about women living alone, but it makes me sick, and I feel like what they're doing is useless. And I'm sorry, I apologize. However, it's addicting. And just like I'm watching it, millions of other people are watching these things, even if they're watching it to say, are these girls seriously showing this? Or I'm watching this woman
Well, I don't watch
cleaning.
them.
Like,
I don't
well,
watch them.
can't believe I'm ashamed to say how many of her videos I've watched. I've watched her steam her sheets. I've watched her spray the little, smelly, nice smelling shit across the sheets. And all I
Well-
can think is that's not good to inhale while you're sleeping.
Well, what I'm thinking you pointed her out to me, so I watched a bit of one video. But what I'm sort of thinking is, I guess the best thing we can say is more power to her for being able to monetize her neurodivergence.
I'm in agreement with that. I'm not mad at her about that at all. And again, you know what? On that note, I say to each his own. I was not saying that to bash her or these women.
No, but I
I
mean,
agree with
yeah.
you, Kat.
Yeah, for sure. Hey everyone, and thanks for tuning in to another episode. If you enjoyed what you heard, please follow, comment, and reach out on our socials. Also, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. If you resonated with anything in the episode, be it products or topics, make sure to check the show notes for additional information, or shoot us an email if you like. See you next time.